Congratulations for all these stories.
Thank you.
I was saying you look different because you look very calm, very like, you know, how, so there's a part of your personality that does a lot of research and conspiracy theories and all this.
Yeah, I don't research things specifically for a book. I'm just fascinated by life in general. I read a lot. I talk to people, and everything, sooner or later, it will show up in a book because everything is always interesting.
How much are your books and your work a reflection of reality? Because sometimes I feel that daily life, we're in a different world. I mean,
Yeah,
normal people.
that is a great question because I think the books are actually a blend of hyper-reality in some ways, but also just myth and legend in a lot of other ways. It's a combination of the two.
How do you like being part of the film industry, like all your films? And, you don't know.
I love it. I mean, I started out in television for nearly 20 years. I worked in drama production, which is kind of the first cousin to movie making. So this is familiar to me. It's like being back home in a way, and except that I have no responsibility. You know, I write the books, they make the movies. So I'm just a friend of the production. I'm a guest of the production. I just visit and have fun. You know, I don't have to work. I don't have to worry.
Some of the situations are very film noirish, if you want. You don't know who's doing what. You think the U.S. government is as corrupt as within the story?
Well, I think what's important about the story is there has been a devolution of a function that should be done by the government that is now being done by a private profit-based corporation, and I think that is where you get the opportunity for corruption. I'm an old-fashioned guy. I would trust the government more than I would trust a corporation.
Yeah, look at what Dick Cheney did.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at the history of the recent wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, an awful lot of that was run by private contractors, and an awful lot of it was pretty bad.
I'm terrified about the fact that Donald Trump is where he is. What do you think? He won't get to the White House?
Personally, I think not, and I think I think that what happened was the Democrats with Obama reached a new level of height and expertise. I think Obama has been a great president, and you see this in many countries. This happened, I saw it happen in Britain, where one party is dominant, the other party actually takes several generations before they reform, and I think that's what we're seeing at the moment with the Republicans.
Hopefully we will see Hillary Clinton as the first female president.
I think that would be great.
That could be part of one of your books, right?
Well, it often is. You know, the thing is that the storytelling is often way ahead of reality in that respect. You know, Obama was the first black president, but there have been black presidents in fiction, in movies and television for many years before that. And if she's elected, Clinton will be the first woman president, but there have been many movies and books where there has already been a woman president. So eventually reality catches up with fiction.
So you think fiction is a trend, a cultural, it establishes new trends and makes us more open to new things?
I think it certainly makes us more open, but more importantly, fiction is an expression of desire. If certain things exist in fiction, it's because people want it, and therefore eventually they get it in reality.
At what level, how long does it take you to write a book, and what's the process? You're isolated in a beautiful house, or what? That's how
I don't care where I am. I work in the back bedroom of my apartment, and I always start in September, and I just work until the book is finished. And there's always a lot of other stuff to do, so I can't write every day. But generally speaking, I work through the winter, and I have the book finished by the spring.
Are you possessive with your books and the way that they are? You know, they're an inspiration for the big screen.
I'm not possessive at all, because the thing that writers have got to bear in mind is they worry. They say, what are they going to do to my book? And the truth is they do nothing to your book. The book is always there. They do a version of it that doesn't change the book at all. It's a version of the book. So I'm completely relaxed about it. I love to see somebody else's opinion. And I actually don't want it to be similar to the book, because I already know that. You know, I know the book. I want to see a different opinion.
Do you write thinking on specific actors?
No, I don't. I just imagine characters in my head. There may be people that I've seen. Maybe you'll show up in a book at one point. You know, people that I've seen and met.
That would be great. But so people like Jack exist in real life?
I think actually, yeah, people like Reacher exist in real life in lots of different fields of endeavor. You know, what Reacher is he's a person with a extreme expertise, but very narrow. And the rest of his life is perfectly normal. And we see that all the time. I mean, think about a soccer player, you know, think about, you know, Lionel Messi, who is, you know, a fabulous soccer player, but the rest of his life, he's just the same idiot as the rest of us. You know, that is Reacher.